Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Coffee with Katie. So if you've never been here before, this is my channel. It's called Coffee with Katie, and I can get into the name of that at a later video. But basically, I am a reading channel. I like to do book reviews, book hauls, reading wrap-ups, book rants. I have a couple of interesting video ideas I think planned for the future. We'll see how they go, but a couple of you have been asking me for a bookshelf tour, and so I'm gonna plan that in the future. All right, so let's go ahead and get into today's video. So today's video is just going to be my May TBR, and I'm really excited because in May, I'm gonna be going to Florida on a vacation with my family, and we're gonna be at the beach, so I'm really excited to just kind of soak up some sun, be on the beach, be kind of away, and just have some time to recharge and relax and rest. My job is very stressful and I've been looking forward to this for a long time. Finally gonna get to go to Galaxy's Edge, which I'm pumped about. You know, I was supposed to film yesterday, but instead I fell asleep on the couch. So there's that. So let's just get into it. So the first book I have on my May TBR, especially because we're gonna be a very beachy themed TBR, because it's not gonna be summer yet, but it's gonna be summer to me, and I'm gonna be in the beach, and I just want some like ambiance of what I'm reading. I'm gonna be starting with All the Stars and Teeth by Adeline Grace. And from what I've heard of the story, it's about a mermaid and pirates. Basically what's going on with this main character is she's a princess, and all of her life she's been training for soul magic, which I think is the rarest type of magic in this world. And she has to get it, like control of it, she has to master it in order to take the throne. And she goes to demonstrate her magic and something goes wrong and it's like a disaster, and she has to strike a deal with the pirate, travel across the seas, and kind of figure out what's going on. And I thought that would just be really fun to take with me to the beach and kind of read. And I'm really looking forward to it. I've heard really great things. Elliot Brooks has talked about this, about really enjoying it, and so I'm really excited to see what it's all about. This next book, you all had to have seen this coming because I'm sure I've mentioned it in the past, is Winter Song by S.J. Jones. And basically what I've been told is that if you like Caraval, you will like this book. And honestly, that was enough for me. But essentially, her sister is kidnapped by the Goblin King, and she has to go into this world. And I don't know if she has to like solve puzzles, do a competition, but she's going to save her sister from the Goblin King, and things ensue from there. And I know there's also something involved with music. Obviously, it's called Winter Song. I don't know what the music element in this is. I don't know if it's like a magic system type of a thing. I know that I think her first name is Liesel. That's how you pronounce her first name. Correct me if I'm wrong. But it says that she's inspired by musical compositions, so I know it's a part of her life, and I'm just not sure how it plays into the story yet. But I'm excited. It says it's going to be kind of like a dark romantic type of a thing. It really just sounds like a retelling of, I think I've mentioned this before, it sounds like a retelling of The Labyrinth, that 80s movie. Also, I think the cover is really pretty. It's got like the snow. Also, do not mind my makeup. I was having fun playing with some pastels today because of spring. Super fun. It's the Pastel Pup Palette by Menagerie Cosmetics. The next book on my TBR is going to be Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare. I've just been working my way through the Shadowhunters series, and I'm trying to do them in publication order, regardless if that's the best order or not to read them. That's what I've decided to go with, and I'm going to continue down that journey. So I want to read Lady Midnight as the first book, and it's about Emma and Julian and how they become Parabatai, and I think they start to fall in love, which is forbidden for Parabatai. Kind of them facing that, and I'm sure there's other demonic forces in the works, a new danger that's going to arise. The next book on my May TBR, which as I'm sitting here thinking about it, it's probably way too ambitious for me, but here we go. The next one is going to be Roar by Cora Carmack. I've heard that this is really underrated, and it's on a lot of underrated lists or recommendations for fantasy, and I'm really excited. I did pick this up a long time ago thinking it was going to be something I would really enjoy. Oh, apparently it's blurbed on the front by Jennifer L. Armentrout, which I read her Lux series and it was okay. It wasn't my most favorite thing in the world, but we'll see. I haven't read Blood and Ash. If anybody's read that and they recommend it, let me know. But kind of one of the taglines for this is, in a land ruled and shaped by violent magical storms, power lies with those that control them. So that's a pretty cool tag. Basically, she is supposed to have this magic, and the way you get it is or with her ancestors, the way her ancestors got it is they face a storm head on, and then they get some of its power, they get some of its essence. And she is powerless, and she's trying to figure out what to do about that. She ends up teaming with a prince from another kingdom, and I think he's kind of offering her a deal, like, you can marry me and you'll be guaranteed a throne, or she can try to find this magic and not have this marriage And so I'm not really sure how it ties into everything, but I kind of want to go into it like that. And it just sounds fun. It sounds like she's going to be stealing some getting some magical like weather abilities, which is really cool, and I'm excited to read it. Also, the third one is coming out this year, so might as well start now. As I told you before, my TBRs have been pretty ambitious recently, and maybe too ambitious for me to be able to attain them with working a busy job. So, A Court of Rings and Ruin by Sarah J. Maas is actually going to be on my May TBR now, not March, or not April, because I don't think I'm going to be able to get to it. So, I plan on reading A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J. Maas in May. And if you've never heard of this, A Court of Thorns and Roses is kind of the Beauty and the Beast retelling with Faye, and it goes from there. I'm sure you've heard of it, and everybody's heard of it at this point. Even if they don't like it, they've heard of it. I'm interested to see where the series goes, and I'm kind of excited about this book in particular because I think this is where the biggest part of the war is going to happen. In that same vein, I'm going to plan on reading A Court of Frost and Starlight in May as well by Sarah J. Maas. This is the little novella at the end of the first 3 books. And so because it's a novella and it's so short, I think I could definitely tack this on and get it read super quick. And then hopefully I'll be able to go to A Court of Silver Flames soon. I'm kind of scared. So I was on TikTok, or Book Talk rather. I was on Book Talk, and it keeps talking about how this one is way spicier than the other books, and that scares me honestly because this is the most spicy series I've ever read in my life. So that kind of terrified me a little bit, and if you agree with that, let me know, or if you disagree with that, let me know, and if you think it's worth it. And obviously I haven't, I'm going to be reading it regardless, but please give me your opinions. Another book that I want to pick up in May is going to be The Beholder by Anna Bright. I have heard of this book from several different people, and it's kind of more so they hauled it or they thought it sounded interesting, but I haven't heard a lot of reviews or anything about it since. It may not have done very well, but that's fine. The concept is kind of intriguing to me. So I've heard it's similar to like The Bachelorette. So basically she has a really like terrible mother, and she is forcing her, she like embarrassed herself in a heartbreaking situation. She was like publicly humiliated and rejected, and her mother as punishment is sending her away on a ship. And she has to travel to all of these different countries, and she's not allowed to come back without a fiance. And she's traveling to like different parts of the world to try to find this fiance. That's really all I know about it, and that's kind of all I want to know about it. And that concept in general sounds kind of interesting. I did read the Selection series, wasn't a big fan, but I want to see how this one turns out, and I'm probably going to be listening to it on audiobook while I'm on a plane or while I'm, you know, chilling on a beach, and so I think this would be fun. I'm trying to do a lot of like nautical ship type books. Some of them aren't, some of them are. If you've read that one, please let me know what you think, because I just haven't heard much about it, but I just wanted to find my own opinion on it. The last book on my May TBR is a little controversial, and that is The Wicked Saints by Emily A. Duncan. I know a lot of stuff has come out about this author recently that's really controversial and really awful, and I don't know exactly what was said. I know what was said to be in the book, and the author sent out an apology and all of that. I am more of the person that separates art from artist. So I bought this book a long time ago, so I'm going to read it. I'm not just going to throw it away because it's a story that's still interesting to me. But I don't mean to offend anybody by bringing this up and reading it. I like to separate art from artist, and if that's not your thing and you can't do that, that's fine. But that's what I do, and so we're just going to continue on with it. The reason I did get interested in reading this, I heard it was a dark YA, and I like dark books a lot, and I like dark, like morally gray characters and things like that. And then when I read Shadow and Bone and the Grisha trilogy, I heard that people like this if you ship Elena and the Darkling. That's me. I love the Darkling. Elena's okay, but I love the Darkling. So that's what really got me interested in reading this book sooner. The Darkling is my favorite character of the entire Grishaverse so far. Well, I guess of the entire Grisha trilogy. Let's clarify that. He's my favorite character, and so if there's any character kind of like the Darkling in this, I think I will really enjoy it. And so that is why I'm going into it. We'll see how it goes, if I like it, if I don't. I do like the tagline, though, of "Let them fear her." I'm sure that's not a very good synopsis. So basically, of me just telling you it's like the Darkling. Basically, it's a girl named Nadia who hears the whispers of gods inside of her head, a prince surrounded by desperate suitors and deadly assassins, and a monster hidden behind pale, tortured eyes and a smile that cuts like a knife. I like that. I like those little taglines, and I hope that I'm really gonna enjoy it. We'll see. I know people have read it and they don't like it because of the problematic content. I know people that have read it and don't really like it because of the story. We'll see how it goes and see what I think. All right, everyone, that is my May TBR and everything I'm planning on reading for the month of May. Let me know down in the comments what you're planning on reading in May, and if you're gonna be reading on a beach, in some mountains, in a forest, in your home. Let me know what kind of summer adventures you have planned for yourself. All right, I'll see you next time. Bye.